Okay, so I'm going to be really vulnerable here, Jen, and I'm going to share a very personal story. Because I have actually often spoke to people about finding their secret words. And it's something that I've always had. And I think of them as little touchstones of who you are and what you believe in. And so my vulnerable part here is I'm actually going to share my 3 words with you. So my 3 words are grace, wit, and integrity. And it's the kind of thing that before a presentation or before I come online and speak with someone like Jen Mueller, if I was going to say my little prayer, right, it would be, please give me grace, wit, and integrity. Because I think if you could just have those few mantras, those few words that you can identify with, and it's probably the same words of who you were when you were a 10-year-old. That 10-year-old Karen is still really wanting to do the right thing. That's the me about integrity, is doing the right thing, doing what's good for everyone, being ethical in what I'm doing, right? The wit part comes from me wanting to make sure that I'm keeping my wits in general. But humor is where I go, right? Humor is who I am. Humor is how I create a relationship, or I soften the moment. And I used to try to protect that. I used to try not to let it out. I used to try not to let it into the conversation. And then I realized that's what people come and gravitate towards, is when I can just be me and have that wit in there. And then, of course, the grace part is just, I think all of us as leaders and in our communities and in our businesses, just to be blessed with that presence and be able to have, I always do a physical kind of move when I'm talking to people that I'm mentoring of, be present, fill your space. It's what Jen Mueller does all the time. It's about being centered in the moment. People want to believe in you. So to have that grace of being in the moment and being present. So I use those words in my head so many times: grace, wit, and integrity, grace, wit, and integrity, that whenever I'm in a tough moment, whether it's in a boardroom or sitting in a design meeting or having this conversation, it's just remembering who I am at the core and having those little words or mantras that you can go back to. So maybe that's a good exercise, is for people to maybe think about what their few words are that might always resonate with them. Because at the core, you are who you are for your life. You is all you've got. You is all you've got. You've got you. And if you can really come to that core of who you are, use that to your strength in your leadership.